Some of the images look like World War II propaganda posters, Uncle Sam telling you to defend the homeland. Others reference a glorified version of the past, white settlers traveling across the plains toward their manifest destiny, as Native Americans are pushed back into the shadows. These are the words and images that the Department of Homeland Security is using to recruit thousands of new deportation officers. It's a historic expansion that will make ICE the largest federal law enforcement agency in the country. And experts who study extremist groups are flagging these posts as dangerous.
Propaganda is an art, actually. So we need to look at it as such. It's a very powerful way of communicating, and it typically obscures the truth. And when it's done most effectively, it makes it hard to call it out as well.
Peter Simi is a sociologist at Chapman University who has been studying extremist groups for the past 25 years. He says part of the problem with these posts is their ambiguity.
There are people who maybe aren't well versed in terms of kind of the culture of far-right extremism and how the current administration fits into that culture, who will see something like Uncle Sam and say, well, we've always used Uncle Sam as a symbol of the United States. And if it were just Uncle Sam, that would be one thing, but it's not just Uncle Sam.
But the posts can be interpreted through a white nationalist lens. Let's take another look at the Homeland Worth Protecting post. It has the words heritage and homeland, and both of them are capitalized.
There is two uses of H that are capitalized. In white supremacist circles, HH stands for Heil Hitler. Okay, that's one aspect.
Another aspect is that the caption contains exactly 14 words.
Again, in white supremacist circle, this is a very well-known slogan referred to as the 14-word statement.
White nationalists use messages with exactly 14 words as a reference to a famous phrase from the 1980s. We must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children.
And it became one of the most central slogans among white supremacists. They reference it in everything from tattoos to t-shirts to emails. It's just ubiquitous among these folks.
ICE did not respond to questions from KPBS about their messaging. Simi says plausible deniability is a big part of extremist communications. These messages can be interpreted in a variety of ways, and whoever posts these images can just say people like Simi are overreacting, which means that academics or members of the media cannot say for sure whether something is explicitly racist.
Unless you were able to, find the person who created that post and they were to, admit that this was intentional. It's hard to ever really definitively say, which is again part of the point.
Now, as I've said before, this is part of a historic expansion to ICE. The Trump administration wants to hire 10,000 new ICE agents by the end of this year. Now, historically, the federal government has struggled with these rapid expansions. For example, when Customs and Border Protection hired more than 20,000 workers in the mid-2000s. This report from the Government Accountability Office showed that as a result of that hiring spree, routine employee reviews took a back seat. At the time, agency policy said every employee had to go a review every 5 years to ensure they were still fit for duty. But the agency, by 2010, had a backlog of more than 15,000 reviews. The report also says that there was some cultural resistance to internal affairs investigating officers. And criminal organizations like drug cartels used the mass hirings to try to infiltrate Border Patrol by getting their members and informants hired. The current ICE expansion comes at a very unique time for the agency, according to experts who study law enforcement, like Allie Preston, senior policy analyst at the Center for American Progress, a left-leaning think tank.
There is generally support for changes in the immigration system, but what's happening now is people are very much against the direction that this has come in, and it has really turned into a militarized, authoritarian form of policing. And I think that it really will damage this institution's ability to continue.
And Preston is worried that ICE has already lowered its standards leading up to this mass hiring spree. For example, ICE eliminated age restrictions that previously required agents to be older than 21 and younger than 37 or 40, depending on the position. DHS officials also cut down ICE's 18-week training course to just 8 weeks, and they have waived Spanish language requirements, vehicle pursuit courses, and other types of training.
I think in light of everything that's happening, it's really like a perfect storm of different sort of circumstances that are making policing more dangerous for communities and really undermining the role that they are supposed to be playing.
Now, ICE did not respond to questions we sent them about what kind of guardrails they have in place to ensure their standards don't drop, or how many recruits have actually signed offer letters. But the agency did announce that more than 150,000 people have applied for jobs. Meanwhile, experts like Simi, Preston, and others say that they plan to keep an eye on ICE to see who they hire and how agents conduct themselves. I'm Gustavo Solis for KPBS News.